Welcome back. Well, Democrats are now doubling down, slamming President-elect Trump's most recent administration picks as racist. Now critics are urging him to reconsider the appointment of Senator Jeff Sessions. Listen to this.
He made jokes about the KKK, that he made racial slurs, used racial slurs.
He's going to need a very thorough vetting. Many of those statements, they're old, but they're still troubling.
He pushes out Sessions, who is, the most troubling member of the U.S. Senate when it comes to race.
If he was not good enough to be a federal judge interpreting the law, how then is he good enough to be Attorney General actually enforcing the law?
All right, well, here to weigh in is Fox News contributor and the niece of Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Alveda King. Doctor, good to see you this morning.
Good morning. How are you? And
good.
To all of our viewers, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. So you just saw that clip we played. We've heard from the media now, members of the Democratic Party, throwing around the racist term almost like it's nothing. What do you make of that?
Well, we here in America have brains. We can think, we can investigate for ourselves. Playing the race card used to work because nobody could find out the truth behind the matter. Senator Sessions prosecuted the Ku Klux Klan. Senator Sessions, went and desegregated schools in Alabama.
But no one's talking about that.
Those are not... But nobody wants to talk about that because they want to say he's a racist and he banned these racist slurs. Take it out of context. But he prosecuted the KKK. So throwing the race card against somebody who prosecutes racists, it does not add up.
Something that your uncle, Dr. Martin Luther King, talked about a lot was forgiveness and coming together and moving on from things. Why is it today that it seems that the media and in this case the Democrats are having such a difficult time moving on from something that happened decades ago? We all have a past. We all have moments where we say, you know what, I probably would have handled that differently. I probably would have said that differently. Why as a community today do we have such a hard time moving on and forgiving people?
I was an activist in the 20th century. In the 1960s, I was a youth activist and organizer. My dad, Reverend A.D. King, my uncle, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., taught me very well, and my granddad, Daddy King. Now, George Wallace, during those times, was one of the most racist people in our history. And yet, through love, through communication, and through resisting nonviolently, George Wallace repented. And I believe the heart of the servant leader can draw that out of anybody. So that's why I'm even looking at Mr. Trump, his administration, his choices. What would Jesus do? What can I say that will heal? So I'm encouraging Mr. Trump and his picks not to go on the defensive, but to assert that we want to heal America. We want to work together for America. And that's the voice that has to continue. And sanity. The media did not, Kellyanne Conway is right, did not prepare us for a Trump win. And so now we have that. Are we going to keep splintering and dividing, or are we going to come together?
Right. That's such a great point. So I want to get your thoughts on this story we've been covering for the past 24 hours. The play Hamilton, I know you've heard about it. So the cast basically gave a lecture to Vice President-elect Mike Pence. He went there with his family, trying just to enjoy a Friday night out, lectures him about politics at the end of the show. He even gets some boos from the audience. What is your reaction to that?
That was a seize-the-day moment. And so the lecture came, and I think that Vice President-elect Pence, from my understanding, just kind of quietly got up and went outside, but he waited until he heard the whole rant or chastisement. Now, I believe that if I had purchased a ticket and I was just part of the general audience, I would have expected to see a great performance. I might not have wanted to buy an opportunity to hear a lecture, So perhaps that was a seize the day, seize the moment. America does have problems. Right. Much of America is fearful. So I believe now is the time to say we are going to make America great. We're going to heal America. We're going to work together to do this. So rather than to splinter and divide, I believe this is another opportunity to call for unity.
And you're right, Mr. Pence did handle that moment beautifully. I love your advice to them of rise above it. Let's come together as a country. And I think so far we've seen Mr. Trump and Mike Pence do that pretty beautifully over the past week or so. So it's good to have you here this morning.
Yes.
Dr. King, thanks for joining us.